This HAARP system in Alaska, it was in Gakona, Alaska, which is just northeast of Fairbanks. Apparently, it was closed down. Well, guess what? During the lockdown, it was reopened. HAARP was reopened in 2021. Apparently, it received $9.3 million from the National Science Foundation.
Wow.
So it's in operation for at least another 4 years. And it's basically blasting the upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, with a very powerful radio frequency. And I want to put this in context before we get to Steve, is that, we've done a lot of towers, and the towers we visit, Steve, the most I've seen is around 3,800 watt power output. The HAARP system, everyone, to put that in context, it's putting out 3.6 million watts. The towers we do are around 3,800. HAARP is putting out 3.6 million watts. They're blasting into the atmosphere. They're heating the atmosphere. They're affecting weather. Most important, they're manipulating climate. These are locations of HAARP throughout the world in 2015. What's interesting, there's one just north of Kiev, Ukraine, which isn't surprising, is it, everyone? Nope. They got biolabs there. They got Hunter Biden doing all kinds of illegal activity there, and they got a HAARP in there, right? So that's not surprising to anyone, is it? So there they are. There could be more. We don't. Geoengineering is basically climate manipulation, weather manipulation. And there's two different components. They have solar radiation management, where they're trying to create clouds of shielding to block the sun's rays, which is crazy, right, folks?
Yep.
The second one, they want to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it in the earth, which is crazy too. Those are the two approaches. The UN is behind the geoengineering to fight climate change. So they're just spraying. They're creating all this other stuff.
A big operation, a big attack on one of our communities up here in the north. An increase of planes, flights, these flight paths, nothing of it makes sense. But if you watch the cause and effect, so once they do what they do and they spray and you watch, I've watched many clips where it explains the HAARP and how it looks and the frequency waves and everything. You can literally witness it in the clouds. I've got the pictures where you can see some, there's pictures time lapsed over time where you see them grow. And I watched it, and during this attack, it ramped up, and there was like a lot of flights. First, it went from maybe one a day to it ramped right up to 8 to almost 10 flights a day coming up over us. And you'll see where they're from and flying to, and none of this makes sense.
Yeah. So this is all about climate manipulation, weather manipulation. It can be used as a weapon. It can affect, it can cause droughts. One person mentioned it can cause hurricanes for sure. Someone's claiming it can create earthquakes. I don't know how, but folks, this is not made up. I'll give you an example factually. 1975, the US government and the Canadian government signed a treaty on weather manipulation. Okay? That was in 1975. Fast forward 2022, right? HAARP 1990 came out. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Our trees in Northern California are dying. Let's get into your slides so we can dig into what's going on up there. The important thing for the Northwest Territories, where Steve is, it's a frontier. There's not a lot of people living up there. These corporations and government do whatever they want. So it's a really good place to look, Steve, and
Yeah.
maybe that's why they have HAARP up there as well, right? So
Yeah. And you'll see too, once you look at where I'm living in this Wati, I am so out of the beaten path that when I first moved here over 7 years, you would be lucky to see a jet fly over once a month.
yeah.
And now we're tandem, I noticed a lot. So I think what happens is you'll have one come on, and as he's flying into where all the Great Lakes are, they'll start their discharge. And then he'll run a line as far as he can. I've seen them where they'll run, break, run, break, run, break. And then they do it in segments, I'm guessing, to really stretch out their haul, right? Their payload. And then you'll have a second plane. And once he stops, then you'll see the second one turn on, and then it starts.
So right there, we see two planes following each other.
Yeah, right there. And like, where's the destination? I can't quite see on this one, but you really got to pay attention to where they're going and where they're coming from. They aren't Canadian. They're not even landing in Canada.
Yeah, this one says Chicago, Seoul, Korea.
Yep, there's Chicago, Seoul, Korea. I believe the other one, Seattle, Dubai, is a huge one. Mega flights coming in out of there. And why are they flying over the north? Why do they come this way? You'll see too on some of these flights as they're going a straight line, they'll divert a little ways out just to go over the lakes. And there's a breakup, and all the ice tends to pack down below, and it'll back up the river a bit, and then it puts this town into floods. Now, I often wonder, now, how are they going to get people out of these small communities in this new agenda, right? They want you out of the communities. They want you in these super cities. So how are they going to do that? They're going to burn you out. They're going to flood you out. They're going to take out your highways, your infrastructure. This is what you're doing. And this is what's happening. So over here, we don't have so much of a river system or worry about flooding, but the lightning's here. Fire. Hey, River was on a bank, and they're getting the dumps of water now due to all these flights. And this is a target. They're targeting the freshwater lakes here. And I believe they're doing that because of the transitions of, when it's coming in on a hot day, you got all your evaporation. You have a lot going on there, right? And what they're doing is they're throwing in an injection of weather modification steroid,
Is that what we're seeing here in the photo?
Yep, that's a chemtrail right there. That's a good one, actually. Straight, rip right across. And you'll see them go as far as the horizon. You can almost see. And then you know that they're near the end of the lake, and you'll see it turn off. There you go. And then they'll flight. So you'll see he's headed south, and then all of a sudden diverts back up towards northwest. Like these flight. And so if you'd have panned more to the right, say a had eye before the screenshot, you would see that flew right over Great Slave Lake, and then flew over Lac La Martre Lake, and then he's done his payload. Now he's off. You see, he'll do his course. Yeah. Now he does his course correction, and there you go. Here's another one, right? So he's come from across seas, right? Cross seas, flying over no international airports. There's no emergency runways he could land in. That's probably the most unsafe route you would travel. And probably on a globe is the longest route you would take. Why? Like, these flight paths make no sense to me. And so I tried to chase it down within our government, and I ended up with a phone number for Alberta for transportation, because I tried to attack this by seeing if there's public information on what is on these planes. What's the MSDS, right? They have to submit paperwork. Is it public access? I've called, left a couple messages down there, and this is where I was directed. It was Air and Highway Transportation of Alberta. And I've left messages. Nobody's ever contacted me back. Yep, there you go. They're in tandem, and this is supposed to be live, right? When you're looking at these, I hear the plane and see it. Boom, pull up my app. There's the plane. You can't confuse it. You cannot confuse that plane with any other right plane. Here, there's things they call sundogs. Sundogs are point of sunlight that stretch out. They're like arms, like a small rainbow on each side of the sun. Now this is what we get. We get these full-on rings now that shine around the sun. And these rings, to what I believe, are the metals refracting the light. Because when the operation isn't spraying, or say they had sprayed way early in the night or in the morning, 10, 12 hours from then, it'll be a clear sky and just straight rays, you know, or you'll have the very defined sundogs. But when you get it like this, they wrap a circle. I've seen it with the moon. I've seen it with the sun. It's the high concentration of the metals that they're using.
What about here? We see the crisscrossing of the...
Yes. Yep. There you go. You got the one, and then the one coming from bottom to the top. Yep. Look at each one of those is a fire, and the dark ones were previous fires that have burnt out. So everything that's lit up is a fire that's happening as we speak. More lightning, and look where it is. You see what I mean? Yeah. They're spraying here. The system goes this way, and that's where all the NWT fires are, you know, for this area. And then the community is going down to a community, and then this sent to me from a friend, and it's a screenshot of a job posting. So say you want a career in something, right? These guys specialize in the career for pilots for cloud seeding. They don't even hide this anymore. They're looking, and if you read more into it, it says in Northern America and Southern America, right? So they're where the job is their area. So this was just a screenshot. Now I didn't go too far off this, and I had a friend actually track down the original site for this, and he gave me a link to it, and I have that link, and the job is still there and it's still posted. Anybody, if they want, they can go have a look themselves. This is the real deal, you know?
Yeah, no, this is no good stuff. I think we gave the public a good idea of what's going on up there, Steve. Yep. I did some research, and there's claims, and I can't verify it, folks.
Yeah.
But I was on Geoengineering Watch, and they're using forest fires to help create the solar radiation management, which is shielding through all the smoke. That's kind of crazy if that's going on. So maybe that would explain all the fires.
I believe that.
Up in the Northwest Territories. I'm not saying that's the case.
Yep. Most people remember this could tell you, like, if you spent enough time there. We have a standard range of animals. But now we've got magpies. That's a southern bird. There's no reason to be up this way. Now they're starting to show here. We have buffalo that have been moving from the river range, and now they're moving almost up into Yellowknife now. Cougars have been spotted in around Yellowknife. Deer have been spotted. Everything is pushing north for game and animals. It seems like it's been warmer. The core of everything seems warmer. Everything is milder, but then all of a sudden, you're having this great day, and then an operation happens, and next thing you know, you're raining for 2 days. I've seen it in winter up in the tundra by the diamond mines. There's no trees, no nothing. And there goes the jet. Next thing you know, we had a whiteout for 2 days. You couldn't see 10 feet in front of your face. Why? I don't know. I don't know a lot of the answers to those ones, or the operation, say, over Alberta or anywhere else. All I know is what I witnessed. I record it, and I know this was an attack.